new CBS polling shows some good news for the Biden administration. 37% of Americans say the U.S. economy is doing well. Ratings of the current economy are at their highest level in more than 2 years. Meanwhile, 39% of Americans approve of the president's handling of the economy. That's a 3% increase from last month. CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, joins us now. Anthony, good to see you. So this is an interesting trend. I'm sure the White House would like any sort of upward movement, but at the same time, he's still underwater in terms of his approval. So how do you kind of explain this trend? What are you seeing?
It's both things, Caitlin. It's still net negative, but it is trending up. Let me unpack this. There's two big reasons underneath this. One is the percent of folks who say they expect over the next year or so a growing or a booming economy is trending up. Now, it's not everybody, it's a quarter, but it is up from last fall. And then I'll show you this, maybe more importantly, the percent who say they're expecting a recession coming, that is trending down. Now, what's important about all this is that underpins then that graph that you showed at the top, because you look at this over the course of the last few months, and this line is slowly ticking up. These are incremental increases, but nonetheless, look, a poll can have some variance, but you see this over time and you start to see a trend. We've talked a lot about how what we call the macro numbers, the large economic indicators, have shown a stronger economy than Americans have been feeling. Maybe that's a lagging part of this. Maybe people are starting to catch up and start to feel it a little bit, and that's what we're seeing here, Caitlin.
Yeah, that's a really important point, Anthony, as we've been talking to voters who say that they're not feeling what they are seeing on paper yet, but we'll see the trends over the next several months. The other thing, on the minds of everyone these days is concern over Biden's mental fitness. I know you asked about this in the poll. What did you find? Yeah,
we have asked about this, and we've done it for a while, and this is important. Things haven't changed much, but there is still today this concern about Joe Biden, where when we ask, does he have what people perceive as the mental or cognitive health to serve, you get this fairly low number at 35%. And it's important for a couple of reasons. One is that it's not very high, but also in context, Caitlin, we also asked this about the Republican frontrunner, former President Trump. And frankly, he doesn't do all that well either on this measure, but he is perceived as better than Joe Biden on it. So in a way, this speaks not just to the current president and voters' concerns about him, but also to the coming campaign. This is a measure that we're going to have to keep an eye on, Caitlin.
Yes, certainly a defining feature of this campaign. And also earlier this week, we were all talking about the former president's very controversial comments about NATO. I know you also posed this to participants in the poll. How do Americans feel about that?
We did. It was a news-heavy week last night, so we had a lot to talk about, right? So this was one of them. Look, bottom line is big support for the U.S. defending NATO countries. It's 75% if, it's hypothetical, if there were to be an attack from Russia on those countries, people would want the U.S. militarily to promise support.
Okay, and then quickly, speaking of lots of news, the border is always kind of front and center for voters that we're talking to. What are they telling you in the poll about their concerns about it?
And here's the quick answer. Nobody does well on this. Not Joe Biden, his approval's low, not congressional Republicans. They are, and what I think is really interesting very quickly is that there was reporting about former president's influence over the Republicans in Congress on whether or not to pass this legislation, but Republican voters do in fact want Donald Trump to have some or a lot of say over what congressional Republicans do about the border. That is striking, maybe not surprising, given the former president's influence over the party as a whole, Caitlin.
Interesting that they are inviting it. Well, a lot of news and a good time to take the temperature of Americans, which you do so well. Anthony Salvanto, thank you very much. We appreciate it.